Hi guys, I've got a couple of really simple tips for you today that most of the tour pros on the TV do, and you're probably unaware that they do it. So first things first, routine, getting into good habits on the golf course is so important, yeah? Now, obviously, tour pros on the TV, they have a caddy. And now this is quite a good mindset to try and get yourself in when you're on the course, having an internal dialogue with yourself, pretending that you've got a caddy on the bag, discussing the shot that you've got in front of you. So for instance, they always stand behind the ball, don't they? They pull out their charts and they are looking at the yardage, trying to work out what club they're going to hit. They're taking the weather conditions into account. They're taking the undulations of the hole and around the green, what's the best part of the green to hit. But then ultimately it's picking the correct club for the correct yardage. And then after that, they are zoning in on the ball and the target. And you can see the flag on the screen in front of me here. The ball is placed on the mats here, and you can see I've already chalk lined a couple of lines here. This is the target line and this is our 90-degree line. So obviously you don't get that on the golf course, but it's quite good just to indicate that today. So what the players trying to do is they're imagining a line going from that ball to the flag, and then they're trying to create an intermediate target line, a target point, okay, on this imaginary line. So I'm going to put this red dot down on the floor here, roughly a foot away from the ball, yeah, and then as they're coming into the ball, they can start to zone in on the golf club, lining up with their target point. So rather than looking back and forth from the ball to the target, they've now locked in on this point here, yeah? So when they put the club behind the ball, they're trying to square the club up with this target point. All right, so you imagine a target line coming into the golf club. The bottom of the club here is called the leading edge. We're trying to make sure that that's nice and square to your golf club, okay? Obviously the ball position we want in the middle of the club face. And now we're locked in on the aiming process, yeah? You then go into your routine. Now what I like to get people to focus on as well is a standing point. And this is why I like this 90-degree chalk line that I've drawn on the floor here. It really helps with my students in the lesson. It helps me teach. It helps them constantly get into the same spot. So you've got your target point, you've got your ball, and then we're creating a 90-degree angle with this standing point, yeah? So, club's in there, that's aiming correctly. We put the grip on. I'll go through that at a later date because that's a little bit more detailed. And then we start to do our steps. I like to encourage people to start off in the same spot every time. So your feet are together, and then you're encouraging nice equal steps either side. We want these feet roughly shoulder width apart, and we want the ball position for most irons to start off with in the center, okay? Now when you're doing these steps, what we're trying to do is set up a parallel line here. And you see, you've probably done this before or seen on the driving range. There's always people sticking down alignment sticks or golf clubs to help with their alignment and their ball position. But the problem with this on the golf course is that you can't lay clubs down on the floor. We need a system that you can use and you can practice when you are when you're on the course, so that you're focusing on these key points. So when I'm doing my steps, and I practice this constantly when I'm on the driving range, I'm trying to keep these feet nice and level as I'm doing it, which is helping my alignment as well as my ball position as well as the width of the stance. So I'm getting three things done in this space that's really quite detailed, and you can get really, really good at this, but it's just having the awareness. You know, even if you slightly mess it up, it's having the awareness and it's trying to focus on important things in the setup that's really going to help you execute the shot. I also think this is a really good distraction. Yeah, when we're on the golf course, it's so easy to get caught up, like most people, with negative stuff. Yeah, so what we want is nice, simple, factual things that we want to get right to help us hit a good shot, and then we start building up our confidence, and before you know it, you're hitting some really, really solid shots, and you're really trusting the process. And this is the important thing. All good players, they have a process, they have a routine, they are making sure that they're trying to set up correctly every time and prepare properly every time. So, in summary, target point, standing point. Next time you're watching the pros on the telly, you watch how they come in and they start to set themselves up, and I reckon most of them are doing this in one way or another. We all have our different ways and rituals, but they pretty much all have a routine, and this is why they are so good under pressure and are making the big bucks. Thank you for your time. Catch up soon.